to all you Leos out there. Happy birthday when it's your birthday. And welcome to the horoscopes of August for 2012 for Leos. But first of all, I want to thank you. I want to thank Leos that have sent me nice comments, that have subscribed, that have ordered readings to me. I really want to thank you for that, because otherwise I really can't just continue doing this stuff. So thank you for that. I just wanted to say that. But let's turn back to your horoscope for the month of August, and it's going to be a very nice month for you, or an interesting one, because there's this full moon at, a new moon in your sign, bang on a very significant star, fixed star Regulus, at the middle of the month. But I'll talk about that in a minute. So how does this month works out for you? Well, first of all, the beginning of the month, around I think the 2nd of August, yes, is a full moon that starts. So with an emphasis, it starts with an emphasis on other people. You have the full moon, so the moon in your 7th house of Aquarius, and the sun in your 1st house. So it's all about you and the other person. It's all about the balance with that other person. So that's nice, that's good. And it also kicks off in the beginning of the month with a beautiful trine between Venus and Neptune. Venus in your 12th house, Neptune in your 8th house. So maybe a beautiful, spiritual person that comes along, or maybe someone who opens you up on an unconscious level. Things that were hidden, or things that you didn't understand about yourself. So it's very much about unconditional love when Venus is in the 12th house. And Jupiter is in your 11th still for the whole month. So take advantage of that, of friends, of aspirations, having good aspirations, having interesting aspirations, having a lot of fun with your friends. Jupiter in the 11th is a very nice position to have. So it all starts off normally very easily. But then there is Pluto-Uranus coming into the picture again. Last month it was all about Mars that triggered it. This month it's all about Venus that's going to trigger the Pluto-Uranus square. So what happens around the 13th, 14th, 15th, so in the middle of the month, Venus, which is in your 12th house, will oppose Pluto and will square up to Uranus. Now, this has to do with communication. Why is that? Because at the same time, your Mars, or Mars and Saturn are conjuncting in your 3rd house. So there's something going on with communication. There's something going on with maybe a frustrating idea, or you think negatively during that period of the middle of the month. And Mars is quite in the 3rd house of your communication. It could be that you can't express yourself that easily. It's with difficulties in your communications. And it's also serious thinking. So watch yourself not thinking too negatively. But I think you'll be all right. I'm not just saying that. But the fixed star Spica is involved here. So that Mars and Saturn that is conjuncting around 23 degrees of Libra is bang on the fixed star Spica. And the fixed star Spica is all about you'll be fine. No matter what happens, you'll be fine. And that's a good thing to know. Fixed stars are often used in horary astrology, but you can also, when something happens bang on these degrees, you can take them into consideration, and it gives you an extra information about what happens. So, and this is important now because it's bang on that degree where Mars and Saturn are coming together in that 3rd house of your communication sector. So, and at the same time, so also in the middle of the month, there's a lot of building up towards the middle of the month, that Venus in your 12th house is opposing Pluto. So everybody is opposing Pluto and squaring Uranus. So everybody is transforming in a way through love. Everybody is transforming through what they value. And of course, especially for those who have cardinal planets or an ascendant around 8 degrees of Aries, Libra, Capricorn and Cancer. But of course, everyone will feel in a certain area of life this energy that is going on. And for you, it's the 12th and the 6th house. So it could be about work. It could be about your health. It could be about escapism. It could be about the communication, because also the 3rd and the 9th house is involved. So it could be plenty of things that come to the surface, or that want to come to the surface, because the 12th house is things that are hidden and things that we don't want to talk about. So it's about privacy. Venus is in there. So maybe you don't want to talk about your love life. Maybe you don't want to talk about what's really important for you and your values. And something will happen that triggers you, maybe at work. I think that work can be involved here. And why is that? Because that 6th house is involved. Pluto is in your 6th house. So that's transformation of your day-to-day routines. It could be your work, things that we do day to day. A total transformation, and you fear it, but you've got to do it. Could be the case. And after this tension period, there's a new moon in your sign. And that new moon is in your 1st house. So it's like a new you that is emerging. And it's like a new identity. And why is it a special new moon? Because it's on another fixed star. The fixed stars are really involved here during the month of August. It's on the star Regulus. And Regulus is a fixed star at the very end of Leo. And that new moon is happening at the very end of Leo. So it's conjuncting that fixed star. And that fixed star is all about ambitious. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be ambitious about a relationship. It can be ambitious about your work. Ambitious about a project that you want to do. But as it happens for you in your 1st house, it's about you. It's about you being ambitious to profile yourself in a totally different, new way, in a fresh way. You're reinventing yourself. You go for your ideals, or it is a good time to do that. Notwithstanding the fact that there is tension around the middle of the month. So this is happening around the 17th. So it's about being creative. It's about expressing yourself in a Leo way. And most Leos are already very good at it, at shining. But there are, of course, other Leos who are who are rather shy. I don't know a lot of them, but surely there are some Leos who are shy. But they will try to shine during this month. And especially when it is your birthday around that period, it's going to be a very important year for you, because there's a new moon. It always points to new beginnings at certain areas, new chances that you're getting. And at the end of the month, it closes with Mars. So in that 3rd house, in your communication sector, that is trining with Neptune in the 8th house. So that's softer. Notwithstanding the fact that Mars in the 3rd house could make you a bit, trying to communicate with a bit of vim, it will soften you. It will, you won't hurt other people with your speaking, with your writing, with your communication. And trining with Neptune in the 8th, it will be deep communication, probably. Profound communication, a better understanding of what other people's values are. Or maybe other people's money could be the case. And at the very end of the month, so it's very much about, it starts very gently, it's the climax in the middle of the month, and then there is less tension again. And at the end of the month, at the very end, so I'm speaking of the 30th or the 31st of August, something is also happening that considers all the fixed signs, which is the Nord node is shifting from Sagittarius to Scorpio. So it will be at the very end of Scorpio, 29 degrees of Scorpio. And why is it important? Because it's not alone, the North Node. It's conjuncting two little planets, Juno and Eros. Eros is about passion. I don't need to say more, I think. And Juno is about commitment. It's about commitment into relationships we're going to have and we want to have. So that's a good thing. What you want is what you get. That's very nice, isn't it? And with Eros, also very nice. And with the North Node. So now I'm particularly speaking to the people who have planets in Leo or an ascendant in Leo at the very end of Leo. So again, between 20 and 30 degrees of Leo. If you have any planets there in an ascendant, it's very significant for you that you will go to your path and you will go to your core in a much deeper way, in a much true. It's going to be way more true to, you're going to become more true to yourself, but not without its challenges, because it's in a square. So the stuff that is happening in Scorpio is in a square with Leo. So not with its challenges, but definitely if you're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm not on the right path for the moment, well, there is opportunity to change that, and it's always a good thing. So that's for you, Leos. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you think this is interesting. And I wish you all the best for the month of August. Have a nice time and see you soon. Bye-bye.